Hi everybody, it's Craftin Just Because with Cowan, and today I'm going to be casing a card that was from Erica Cerwin of pinkbuckaroo.com, and she made this really cute card with the wiggle worm bundle, and I kind of was replicating it. It's a tiny bit different, but I loved how she used the stitched lace background here, and so I thought I'd make this card with you and show you how to layer papers to fill in the body parts and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We are going to be using, like I said, that the stitched lace dies, and then we're also using the wiggle worm bundle, which I need to get out here. So we're going to start with a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11 inches long, and you're going to score it at 5.5 inches on the 11-inch side. So we're just going to fold this in half, nice, just like that. And then you're going to want a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is cut at, let's see here, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And we're going to take our stitched lace die and we're going to run it through our Sizzix. So this is the die that it has. And believe it or not, this cuts just like butter. I know there's all these little holes in it and you're probably going, yeah, right. But it really does. So we're going to bring in our big shot. And I'm going to place that onto my plates here. The only suggestion I would say with using this die is I like to run it through, since there are so many intricate pieces to it, I like to run it through like 2 or 3 times, just to make sure that we got all the little pieces. And I will say it does kind of make a little bit of a mess because all those pieces punch out, but that's okay. Okay, so we did that 3 times just to be on the safe side since we're on camera. And I'm gonna move this over. Okay. So then I like to just take my Take-A-Pick tool or my scissors, whichever you prefer, and just poke it off the paper here. Get it started. It's being a little difficult at the moment. There we go. Okay, so there is our die cut. And then you could bring your brush in and get all those little dots out, or just use your scissor tip. It's up to you. Since I don't have my little brush tip right next to me, because this is not where I usually keep my Sizzix equipment, I'm just going to kind of run my scissors through it. Although there's quite a few to take out, I think I might try to find that. Hold on just a moment there. You guys, my craft room is a complete and utter disaster. I don't know. I need to get it cleaned up. My son moved out into his own home that he just purchased, which is very exciting. Him and his fiance are getting married April 25th of next year. And in the meantime, they were storing stuff here in my craft room, and it just, I was trying to like move stuff so I had room, because it's not only my craft room, but my office as well. And it just, you know how that kind of stuff goes. Just hasn't happened yet. And I have a pretty full August and September, but I'm hoping once the weather cools down a little bit too, that I'm gonna feel motivated to get our house just reorganized, revamped, and get it all going on. Sorry this has taken a lot longer than I thought. I should have had my little brush available. But we could sit and chat for just a moment. I'll let you guys look at that cute card one more time while I'm getting all these little pieces out. I just was not organized here. So like I said, they all pop out beautifully. There's just so many little tiny pieces. And it is so much prettier when you see all the lace detail in background on here. I need to pick up the little brush that comes on the Take a Pick tool, because then I would always have it here and available with me. So I think I will add that to an order that I place here this week. Did everybody get their holiday catalog, and are you just drooling over all the gorgeous stuff? Oh my gosh, it's like so amazing. It's probably, I've been doing, not as a demonstrator, but I've been a customer of Stampin' Up! For 23 years. And I have to tell you guys, it's one of my probably all-time favorite catalogs. So I'm so glad I became a demonstrator, so that I can get the perks of picking stuff up early. Okay, I think I got them all, or at least most of them. There we go. Let me clean up the trash. Sorry that took a few minutes, you guys. Guess it's just real life on camera, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and layer this on to our cardstock. I see a few that I didn't get out. And so I just went ahead and used my liquid multi-purpose glue. It's however you want to add that to this. So I'm just going to kind of make sure what I'm really making sure is that I get the corners and the edge. Okay. So then I'm just going to layer this right down so that there's a little bit of a border. That's why it's cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I also cut out a couple other pieces of paper here that we're going to need. I have some of the Granny Apple Green, and I cut a strip that was 1 inch by 4 inches, and then one that's 7/8 of an inch by 3 3/8. And I'm just going to layer, actually, I'm going to layer this gingham piece just right down on my card. Just like so. Okay. Then we're going to take our Memento ink, and we are going to stamp a few of the bugs onto a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. So where's our bugs at? Right here. So it looks like I want to do, let's do the ladybug here. So I'm going to do 2 ladybugs because I'm going to show you guys how to fill in their tummies with some designer series paper. And then I'm going to do a grasshopper like is shown in my sample here. So first we have the grasshopper body, and then you need all the cute little cuteness, and there's a separate little stamp for his cuteness factor that's right here that you fill in his body with. Let's see if I could do it without, not too bad, without my head being totally in the camera. Okay, and then what we're gonna need to do is I have a few scraps of designer series paper here, and I'm going to stamp the bug, the same bug that we did here, onto 2 of these pieces of paper. So just like that, and just like that. And then I'm going to stamp the worm on that pink piece of paper. So just like that. Okay, so now we're done with that Memento ink. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our Big Shot again, because we need to die cut out all of our little pieces. So let's get our Sizzix back out here. And then I have the wiggle worm dies. And what I like to do is I place a piece of Post-it tape on my dies so that it doesn't move while I'm in transit of cutting out my shapes. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna put, let's get you all the way in camera here. I'm gonna put down my die right where it would go, and then I'm just gonna put that Post-it note tape on there to keep that in place. And I'm gonna do the same thing with our little bugs here. And then, oh, I think I need the grasshopper die cut. There we go. And then the other bugs that we did on the designer series paper, we're just gonna cut out because we just need their tummy centers. But let's get this started. And then I just need to do one more pass through to get that last bug. So we did our grass, we did our wiggly worm, we did our grasshopper that we need to color in, and then let's get that last little ladybug guy. So here's one of the ladybug guys, and then I'm gonna run it back through. Just like this. Okay. So now I'm going to move my Big Shot so it's out of our way so that we could assemble the rest of our card here. Okay. So what we did is we cut out some grass, and I'm just going to take the other layer and pop it right off. And then I'm just going to adhere the grass down, overlapping that gingham designer series paper. I'm just going to go like that. Okay. And then I'm going to put a dimensional on my little wiggly worm here and get him in the grass, just like that. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to cut on the outside edge of his tummy and cut his tummy out so that we could glue that onto the Whisper White piece that we just die cut out. Let me show you how to. So there's one, and now we're gonna do the second one. I used the Brights Designer Series in 6x6 paper pack. So that's where these colors come from. And this is Mango Melody and Bermuda Bay. And then the pink was Melon Mambo. Okay, so now here's our little bug faces. I didn't get that one cut out very well, but I'll hide him. I'm gonna color his face and the rest of his body in with the dark gray granite. So I'm just gonna come in with my blend and color him all up nice and pretty. And then I'm gonna get down here in his body. Do the same thing on this one. Okay. Then I'm going to take and put a little bit of glue in each of his bodies. Do the same thing here. And then I'm just going to layer those bodies right onto him. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to let him dry for just a moment, and then I'm going to come in with my Granny Apple Green, the combo set, the light and the dark, and I'm going to color in our little grasshopper guy. So I'm going to make his face all dark green, and then his arms and kind of where they overlap the dark green, and his tummy here, and then his legs. And then we'll come in and blend the rest of him with that light color. Okay. So it looks like in my kit, I forgot to include the little toothpicks that I used, but I'm going to go ahead and I have a tiny little tongue depressor here, and I'm going to just cut off the ends, and then we'll use that to attach our tiny little sign. Okay, so first what we're going to do is I'm going to put dimensionals on my little bugs. And this one that I kind of cut off a little bit, I'm going to kind of tuck behind this worm. Just like this, so you might not notice it so much. Actually, let's do it this way. And then the other little bug, I'm gonna put right here. And then we need to put that grasshopper guy on. So it looks like I'm kind of changing my little characters up a little bit, just because of the way that one fell. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a little strip of paper, I believe it's 1/8 inch, and then I've got my Melon Mambo ink. And then I need to come in with that stamp set, and I'm going to put, I love being with you. Let's see, where's that set? Right here. I'm going to stamp that right in the center of this piece of paper, just like that. And then I like to take the tailored tag punch, and that's what I banner off my ends of my piece of paper with, because I'm not very good at cutting right in the middle. So what I'm going to do is just stick this into my tailored tag punch and make sure that's even in there, just like that. And then do the same thing on this side, seeing where I last punched. So there's our little banner. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tiny bit of tear and tape to the back of this dowel on both pieces. And then I'll take my take-a-pick tool and take that release paper off. And then I'm going to tuck it behind my little bug there. Oh, I almost kind of like that this one's a tiny bit fatter. And then I'm going to tuck this one too behind those bugs. Just like that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of multi-purpose glue, just like this, on the ends. And then we'll add our little banner. And then I'm going to add a tiny bit just at the tops for my little white bows that I did with baker's twine here. So we kind of mixed this one up just a tiny bit, changing where my bugs went just because I kind of messed up on that one bug. But I'm kind of liking it, and the thickness of the tiny little popsicle stick as well. Kind of just mixes it up a little bit. As we know, any art, there's no two pieces alike, so that's what's kind of fun and about creating this project. You don't have to worry about them all matching or being exactly perfect. Nobody's going to compare the two of them. But this is a fun bundle. And this was the project that we picked for today to feature. And I hope you guys had fun crafting with me. Until next week, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.